Welcome to another video interview brought to you by AIChE's online community ChEnected. My name is Stéphanie Orvoine-Couvrette and I work for AIChE's Technical Programming Department. And with me today is Joe Powell, who spoke at the 2013 Process Development Division plenary this morning. Joe is a chief scientist for the Global Shell Organization, where he has a process R&D role in programs directed towards chemicals, biofuels, enhanced oil recovery, and related energy topics. Hi, Joe.
Hello, Stephanie.
So, Joe, the title of your talk is Process Development, Managing Risks and Expectations, where you mentioned that in order to succeed in R&D, you need to be both an optimist and a pessimist. So can you tell us some of the ways that you manage risk and expectations?
Well, yes, Stephanie, it's first very important to identify the risks, and so we think the best way to do that is to hold peer challenge sessions where you bring the technical competency and the experts in the organization to challenge the process development and identify those risks. Not just the technical, but also the commercial and sustainability risks of doing a new concept or development. Then put that into a risk registry so that they're captured, and look at them and identify what are the showstoppers there and which do you really need to work on first, because process development is really about effective use of R&D funds to identify the showstoppers. If you're going to fail, you want to fail quickly, and if you're going to succeed, then you'll have a low-cost route to successful process development. It's also important to become an entrepreneur, more or less, and really connect with what is the business value of the project and how much risk tolerance can you afford. And so one really needs to acquire the business mindset in order to help the business manage the risks that go with the development.
Makes a lot of sense. And so I know that you're involved in AIChE. Could you tell the young chemical engineers out there how this involvement has enhanced your career? And then what other advice would you give to those just starting a career in process development?
Good questions. I wouldn't have become chief scientist without the help of AIChE and the external connections that it entails. Really, companies do not want to become too internally focused, but they're looking to have the external connections, awareness of emerging technologies, and networking opportunities and partnerships that all go with being involved with the AIChE. And so you can bring a lot back into the company by experiencing an event like the meeting here in San Antonio, and leverage that back into a lot of value for the company and hence your career. And as for other advice, process development is a great career opportunity because you're connecting ideas all the way through to commercial practice. And so it provides great leverage to see not only the front end of idea generation, how you develop them into effective and viable processes, but also look at how they're implemented on a business sense. So the fact that a process development career can connect across the organization is a great opportunity for a young engineer. But the secret to managing that is to make the connections with those at the front end on the idea generation side, but also in the business and in the technology or projects development side of the equation. And by making those connections, expanding your network, constantly expanding your technical background, because most of these developments require a good portion of everything you learned in chemical engineering to be able to implement. So if you follow all of those opportunities, it's a very expansive universe that you can play in, and that's what translates into a successful career in connecting the dots and making things happen.
Well, great. So thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with AIChE and ChEnected.
Thank you, Stephanie.